Guys, we are going to start with Unit 1, Day 8 notes. And this is just so exciting because this is so much fun for me. All right, given below is a table of values for three functions, f of x, g of x, and h of x. So here are three functions. Find each of the following composite function values based on the table values. So this is x. These are all of the x values. And these are going to be all of the y values for the function f, all of the y values for function g, and all of the y values for the function h. So here I am just going to replace h of 0. So in the h function, when x is 0, my y is 2. And then I'm going to multiply that by g function when x is negative 3. And that gives me a y value of negative 2. So when I multiply that out together, I am going to get positive 12. So 2 times g of negative 1. So g when x is negative 1 is 7. And then in the f function, when x is negative 2, I get a 3. So I get 14 over 3, and that's it. H of negative 2, reduce if you can. This one, it's you can't reduce it, so I'm okay with improper fractions, but if it can be simplified, please do that. So h of negative 2, so we're looking at the y value of negative 1, plus 3 times when x is negative 1 into the g function, our y value is 7. So we end up with 20. All right. So this just says, hey, I'm going to rewrite this as h of 2 times f of 2. That's what you can interpret this as saying. So when the x is 2 in the h function, you get, when x is 2 in the h function, you get 0 times f of 2 is going to be 3. And so our final answer is 0. All right, now this is a composite function, which says we will evaluate f of 2 first. So f of 2, when x is 2 in the f function, we get 3. And then now we take that 3 and plug that in and into the h, and we get negative 1. All right, so this is saying again, f of negative 3 is 0. We do the inner function first, and then g of 0 is going to be negative 2. Again, you're looking at when the x value and then whichever function they indicate. So g of negative 2, so g when x is negative 2 is 1. So we end up with h of 1, and h of 1 is negative 3. All right, so f of 3 is going to give us 2. So we have g of 2. G of 2 gives us 5. H of 1 is going to give us negative 3. So f negative 3. Negative 3 into the f function is 0. All right, now this is 3 compositions, no big deal. We work from the inside out. F of 2, when the x is 2, f is going to give me 3. Then g of 3 is going to be negative 3, right? When x is 3 on the g function, we get negative 3. And now h of negative 3 is equal to 1/2. All right, so let's do f of negative 1. So we have g of h, and f of negative 1 is 2. H of 2 is 0, and then g of 0 is negative 2. G of negative 3 is negative 2, so we have g of f of negative 2. F of negative 2 is 3, and then g of 3 is negative 3. Again, these are the x values. You find the x value, and you figure out which function you're dealing with, and then this will give you the y value, and that's what it is that you're looking for. All right, so let's take a look at M. It says, if k of x is equal to 2x plus 10, then for what values of x is k of x equal to this function right here? So we've got k of x is 2x plus 10, but we need to figure out what this value is right here. So h of negative 1, if I look at the x value of negative 1 in the h function, I get 1. So f of g of 1. G of 1 is 0. So f of 0. And then finally, f of 0 is negative 4. So this function needs to be set equal to negative 4. Now we can solve. Subtract 10, divide by 2, and I get x is equal to negative 7. All right, so if p of x is the absolute value of 2x minus 3, then for what value of x is p of x equal to this? So again, we go 2x minus 3 is equal to, we have to figure out what this function value is. So f of g of negative 2. So in the g function, when x is negative 2, we get 1. Now, when x is 1 in the f function, we get 4. So this entire entity right here came out to be a 4. So we set it equal to a 4. So p of x is equal to 4. Now remember, when you have absolute values, you have the same equation equal to 4 or the same equation equal to negative 4. Remember, because this is allowed to be a 4. So when I take the absolute value of 4, I get 4. But this is also allowed to be a negative 4. So when I take the absolute value of negative 4, I also get positive 4. So solving for x, when I add 3, I get 7. X is equal to 7 over 2. And then here I'm going to add 3, so I get negative 1. Divide by 2, I get negative 1/2.